Hello everyone, I'm Z_busy and I'm going to show you the best Courier Rasher route for Hollow Knight Silksong. So first I want to give you some tips on what to equip. So the things to equip are the Silk Speed Anklets and the Flea Brew. They will help you get through pretty quick. Also the compass is really good just in case if you get lost. Now you want to make sure to sit at the bench of Bellheart, and in order to get the Courier Rasher, you need to come up to these two little guys. You had to have saved Pill first. After you save Pill, you go up to these guys and you can get the Courier's Rasher. Now I already completed this quest. I'm going to show you guys the route that I took, so then you guys have an easier route to go. So I'll just accept the general quest. I'm not going to do this one, but I'm going to still show you the Courier Rasher route. So once you accept the quest, you are going to run down here. Now with the Courier Rasher, you do lose, you see the little charges under where the item is that I have. You do lose the charges with however long it takes, like it will spoil, and if you take damage. So in this first room, you have this little flying dude to worry about, and the grasshoppers. The grasshoppers are pretty avoidable, and that's perfectly how to do the first room. Now here is the second room, and again this room isn't as bad, but as you can see we took damage here, and that happens. And if that happens, you rest it at the bench, you can save and quit and go back to the menu. Now you would think, oh, why can't I just use the Bell Beast? Well, you can't use the Bell Beast because if you use the Bell Beast, it will destroy the Rasher. Now another way to destroy a Rasher, which I found out and I was so confused, is that this part. So you see you're in this room here, and if you run into the wall, you see I lost a charge. So that happened to me a couple times and I was so confused on why I was losing charges. And if you run into the wall, apparently that's what happens. This room isn't too bad of an area to do. As you see, we did that pretty easily. Now this, I would say, is probably the hardest room of the run. Good thing it's at the beginning, because you have these three guys here. Now it will take you 3 hits to defeat them. It only takes me 2 because I did get the upgrade already, but these 3 guys can ruin your run. So make sure, well, I'll wait for that, but there is another useful tip that you could do. So let's say like you're going throughout the whole run, and we jump over that little gap there of Bone Bottom. That's where we are on the map. And let's say you're doing that the whole run and you end up messing up, all right? Just go through the whole route that I show you and defeat all the enemies. The enemies don't spawn back if you don't rest on a bench. So go through the route and then run back to Bellheart without going on a bench. And then you could go through this whole area without fighting enemies. Now, this area, the only things you need to watch out for are these boulders here and spikes. So right here, I want to show you there are spikes there. They are easy to hit, so just make sure to jump over that gap here. And now here is where the fun begins in Blasted Steps. We are going to do this little skip here. Now if you don't have that platform knocked down, which you probably should, you could come over to the left here, you could jump and glide over, and you can still get up there. So here you just have to watch out for a boulder. You could double jump up to the side and go to the right, and I'll show you on the map where we are. Now this room, you have to worry about this fly, but not really. You're running past this fly so quick that you don't even have to worry about it. Now this part is the golden tube part where you're just going up all these tubes, you hit this ball, and you go on this area. So what I do is I jump, go over to that platform, jump to the right, and then jump to the left. Now we are almost done with Blasted Steps. We have one more room. So this room, the safest way to go is to jump up here. Sorry, I messed it up. And jump over him. Now I will of course post my, I guess at the end here I'll post my full run that I actually completed, so you guys could see like if I took any hits or how long it took and how close we were. But that's how to do this room generally. It's not that bad. Now pretty much here we're gonna run straight. Now if you run for too long, you will lose your silk with the silk speed anklets. So you could do those little tiny jump hops there if you want to do some speed, but you're really not going to need it if you don't take damage. Now I think when I beat it, I did take 2 damage and I was still able to beat it. And this is how to do this area pretty quick. And now we're about halfway done. We're going to go up this coral chamber tube, and continue to go up. Now we're going to the right, and this enemy could be a little bit of a pain. And if at any point you are worried that you are going to get hit, the best thing to do is actually just take your time and try and defeat the enemy, honestly. Or like if you can avoid it just by like taking an extra second to wait for it, it's better to do that than to take an unnecessary hit. Now this area is a little bit hard, and if you do it quick enough, you can jump over those enemies. You hit this lever, you go down. There's going to be enemies that spawn here, but you just go nice and easy, grab that ledge. Now this area is a little pain, and that guy will do that. So this area is kind of nice if you could like bait them and you could get around. Normally that flying dude, if you do throw your hook and hit him, you could get over him. Now I jump on this wall to the left, I hit this bell, and I'm on this platform. Now I do this little skip here, and I feel like that's the easiest way for me. If you didn't want to do the skip there, honestly, nah. The easiest way to do it is that little skip there, honestly. But we do this little skip here, and we can jump to the left and go to the left. Now I do have long nail, which makes that a little bit easier. And this enemy is the only enemy you need to worry about in this room. We're in this big, tall room. And these enemies you don't need to worry about because you don't need to go that way. And then you go to the right here, and then you go up here. Now, I'm not going to go to it right now because I did turn in the quest, so I don't want to spoil what's at the end for you guys. But just make sure that when you're running towards there, there's a little podium where the pale oil is. If you run into that, you will take a damage and mess up the run. I did mess up one of my runs doing this. Then we need to jump. How did it destroy it? So just make sure not to do that. Now I will put my full completed one where I actually completed it here, right here at the end. It came down to the wire. It was super close. And if you guys enjoy these types of videos, and if you want more, please drop a sub on our channel. We're on the road to 1,000 subs, and I know we'll get it in no time with all your guys' help. So once again, if you enjoyed, make sure to drop a sub. I appreciate you all so much. And if you want to stay around for our full run of the Courier Rasher mission, then here it is. All right, everyone, have a great day. Peace. Ready? All right, next room. And now we got some guys in this room. And then we go up. Damn it. That sucks. I have to go to the left. We can still do it, chat. We can still do it. I've been getting this part down damageless. They go up here, then we gotta jump. Dang it. Alright, good movement. There we go. Boom, chat. Chat, we're just gonna do this one. I think this one's faster. Boom. All right, chat. Next couple rooms, just straightforward. Boom. And then we need to go to the right, is right? We need to go right and up. There we go. Woo! No, we took damage. Well, we didn't take damage. We ran into the wall. That was such an unfortunate damage there. All right, chat. We could probably just walk this part and still do it. There we go, chat.